Around 2 years ago, John, a good subscriber from Arkansas, Joanne1, constructed a loop aerial. He used it when listening to his restored 1936 Philco radio model 630B. Noting his aerial's excellent performance, I became inspired to construct one. It was sometime during 1972, at the age of 17, I last constructed a loop aerial. Given that, I felt it was high time I got cracking. From this long strip of offcut from UPVC fascia board, I'll measure and cut off camera for 300mm lengths. My apologies for the wind buffeting this camera's internal microphone during the making of the last clip. Whilst cutting the 4 lengths of UPVC that are to serve as the outer box section, I also cut 2 additional lengths to serve as its diagonal braces. From strips I cut off this sheet of aluminium, I'll make and fit off camera 20 fixing brackets from approximately 10mm wide aluminium strips like this one. I cut off 20 30mm lengths, filed each one making sure their corners are rounded off, and then I filed away the sharp burring. Further processing those aluminium pieces, I drilled 4 of them using a 4.5mm bit to bore a hole 5mm in from the centre at each end. Bent them across the centre at 90° angle, and using the same 4.5mm bit, I drilled both diagonal brace members. See here how I fitted each one of those 4 brackets to the centre of the diagonal braces using 4 6BA nuts and bolts. I'm convinced they will add a wee bit more strength and stability to this part of the structure. I will, off camera, go on to process the remaining 16 aluminium pieces, more or less the same way I processed the first 4, and then I'll use them to secure the remaining 4 lengths of UPVC coated plastic to these diagonal braces. Having drilled each one of those aluminium pieces in the way I said a moment ago, I am now in the process of removing drill burr with this 8mm bit, ready for when I secure the outer box section to the diagonal structure. I know I said I would do this construction work off camera, but I decided a moment ago to show you how I'm progressing. You can see where I'm heading. Having constructed the frame or former, I decided to cover the 6BA bolt heads with car body filler. I'll leave it for 24 hours to fully cure. And 24 hours on, allowing ample time for the car body filler to cure, I smoothed over all 8 countersunk depressions, chamfered all 4 corners, whilst leaving approximately 2mm stops at each end, and now, using these lids from empty food cans, I will proceed to make half a dozen chassis mount solder tags. Using only one of the 2 can leads, I've made 10 instead of 6 chassis mount solder tags. All that is left to do, apart from fitting them to a job, is to plate them with solder. Each one plated with solder will not, under normal use, corrode, and it will enable good contact. If, perchance, you have course to use metal from empty food cans, depending upon the intended use, clean off the lacquer type coating with wire wool if you intend to apply solder. Now, onto one of what I generally regard as the more straightforward parts to this construction project. Winding copper wire onto this plastic frame or former will be done off camera. Using 32 SWG, that is standard wire gauge, I wound 77 turns for the long wave band reception and 28 turns for the medium wave band reception. Then I wound a further 2 turns just here for the aerial and earth connection to a radio. Next task is to solder these tails, I don't know whether you can see them, it's very fine wire, from the long wave coil to these 2 solder tags just there. The wood you see here from my stash of timber offcuts has been cut to size ready for constructing a box to house the loop aerial. Now I will go on to cut off camera a square hole to each side piece for accessing the aerial and earth socket on this side, and to access the tuner and wave switch on this side. Slowly but surely the box in which the loop aerial will be housed is progressing. It has now received its first smoothing with medium emery card. I know I have referred to the holes cut for the purposes of accessing the controls and aerial and earth sockets as square, but as you see they are round. But originally I intended they should be square. Since I have a set of hole saws, there they are along with their arbor, not the best of quality for the amount of time I use them, I decided, more for ease, they might as well be round. I've also rough cut 2 pieces of 1mm thick aluminium, each having been drilled and shaped to serve as the control and socket panels. They will be secured over the inside of each round hole. Tuner panel plate shaped and drilled. Finesse need not be important here. This is how each one of the tuners will be secured onto it. These are the screws I have selected for that purpose. I shall select 2 screws for each tuner, cut them and file off the cut burr. Veneer here in England can be fairly pricey, depending of course upon the type of veneer required. As a less expensive substitute I have decided to use this thin plywood. Hopefully it will suit the requirement. Here thin plywood has been applied to both ends as well as along the top. Also I've sketched out
on this bit of yellow A4 size card. Very basic sunray design, somewhat reminiscent of the interwar period, Art Deco era, hopefully, if all goes to plan. This stencil, once cut out, will be used to fashion the same on both the front and reapplied. And here it is, cut ready for stenciling a pencil outline onto both the front and rear panels for the box structure. Stencil applied, outline penciled, and sunray effect cut out to both the front and rear panels. Each line will need to be defined more clearly before fitting takes place. I'm reasonably satisfied with the cabinet thus so far. The tuning capacitors are in place, as are the aerial and earth output terminals. The frame has also been bolted to the wooden base. The next task, which will also be done off camera, is to connect the frame aerial arrangement to the tuning capacitors and to the aerial and earth output terminals. Tuning capacitors connected up, as are the aerial and earth output terminals. And now I've started the process of constructing a base for this structure. 4 lengths of wood cut to size and are ready for gluing. That base or plinth glued together, small pad type feet constructed and secured onto each corner, and the lot spray painted black and green base glued beneath each pad foot, is now ready to be secured onto the bottom of the loop aerial cabinet. We see here aerial and ground of this radio connected to aerial and ground of the loop aerial. Though the general appearance of this Gossa radio model 500 AC might be compared to a used chamber pot brimming with watery stools, it nonetheless performs well. This radio is tuned onto the medium wave band. Just adjust this. Yep, it is performing reasonably well. I'll switch it over to the long wave band.
Psychotherapist and essayist Adam Phillips. In the law there can be no unconscious.
Yeah, it's performing well on that particular band also. Though I have not worked to a plan or system for constructing this loop aerial, that is to say, I have not drawn up any dimensions, nor have I drawn a circuit diagram. The only documentation for this loop aerial is this video. Nonetheless, I am satisfied with its general performance. Anyone wishing to reproduce this project does so entirely at their own risk. I can't give any assurances for success, but best of luck. Thank you for your time and interest. TTFN, Phil.